Okay.
mute right now. I'll make sure Brian knows.
Okay.
So he'll turn them on from back there.
Okay.
They're good to go now.
I'm ready. Okay. If everybody could find a place to sit down. Oh, right into it. Hello. If we could have every seat on the tables filled first, then some chairs will be brought in for others to be able to sit down. So this is overwhelming. We had no clue. Who would be available on Thanksgiving weekend to to join us in the celebration for Derrik? So I just want to welcome all of you. I'm Catherine Flayhive, if you don't know who I am. And I want to welcome all of you to being here with us today. I am honored, I am blessed. Our family's been overwhelmed with wishes, with prayers, with blessings. And I thank you for being here today. Just a little bit of a few announcements before we start. One, this is really casual, so if I drink out of my Buffalo water bottle or have to take some deep breaths or walk around or whatever, that's what I might have to do. So the other is on every table, on every table there's going to be some memory cards that in lieu of a guest book, I would love for you to be able to fill out the colored cards and either share a memory, a prayer, a blessing, words. You can do art. I don't care what you do. You can just be you. And then make sure you sign your name so we know who is sharing that with us. And then we'll collect all of those and we'll have those for our memories as well to share. Also, there are little cards that my wonderful son-in-law, Michael, has been amazingly supportive. When he married our family, he had no clue he was going to end up having to help us with some of this stuff, but thank you, Michael. There are some cards with a website on it that we're going to be posting stories, memories, and in a little bit I'll share something else too that we'll be using the website for. Also, after we have some sharing time this morning, we're going to have a big feast because Derrik would have wanted this on top of a mountain, but since it's November and it's only like 43 degrees is the high today, this is really a super place to have a gathering today. So we're very thankful to Gary Debus and to the Wildlife Experience Museum to have it here today. Excuse me. And also, after the sharing, then we're going to have a big feast because Derrik would want like a big meat picnic. So we're going to be having roast pig and lamb and steak and eat and just enjoy the fellowship with one another, and also just seeing all the pictures and things of Derrik and share stories and memories. And so the sharings are going to go like this. So if we forget, you can do this to the person that's sitting next to you. If they're the person. We're very honored today to have Steve Hawley, who is Derrik's jazz band instructor from Kent, Denver. He's here today and he, at the last minute drop of a hat, was able to get some amazing musicians to come and play for us today because, as you know, music was a very, very big part of Derrik's life. And so thank you so much for being here. Then we'll have some music, and then we'll have 3 sharings from special people in Derrik's life, and then we'll have some music, and then actually Roger's going to share a little slideshow and speak with you as well, and then I will also speak a little bit later on too. So welcome, and we'll get started. So I think Gary is first. Pro, then Dawn. Is that right, Roger? Okay.
Well, welcome everyone, family, friends, mutants. You know, it's kind of sad when somebody has their own category called mutants. I don't know. You don't want to sit next to those guys, let me tell you. My name is Gary, and I'm a Derrickaholic. Some people would say I'm his uncle. I'm really a friend. And I drew the short straw, so I get to talk first. Not too many years ago, I met Derrik as a baby. Now, a tall, thin, red-headed, young, tough man that could look down on most people, but you know he never did. I mean, that's something to be said in this day and age. A genuine smile, a laugh, friendly banter, and an adventure story for you no matter where you were and when you talked to him. He would entertain us all. That's Derrik. I found out early in life that Derrik was one of those kids that some people would say he's obnoxious. Derrik did not have an off switch. And anybody that played with him, regardless of when he was a kid or this young man that he turned into, knew that when you pushed him, he pushed back just as hard or a little bit harder. And you know exactly what I mean. Roger and Catherine, you mean the world to Derrik. All you have to do is spend a little bit of time at that back shrine at the back of this great hall to learn that and see that and all the things that Derrik did in his life, which many of us might have on our bucket list and never get to. But when you read what's in Derrick's own words in the Kent Denver yearbook when he was a senior, you'll know exactly what I mean. My hat's off to you. My heart goes out to you. You know, there are many, and when I get done here, I want to make sure everybody that has seats at their table raises their hand if they're open. And you in the back, you may have to split up. You know what? This is a feast. We're going to do that, and you're going to sit with somebody you don't know, and we're going to do it Derrik style. And then our team here at the Wildlife Experience will get whatever chairs we need for the rest of you so everyone has a seat. But I have so many stories that I could tell. Sorry for that brief interruption. It helped me, actually. We camped at the base of Mount Sherman, a Colorado 14er here. And Derrik was probably 7. And it started raining really hard, and we're in this camp. And Derrik, this kid, gets out this little Walmart green slicker that I'd got for us, and he's out. He was, by golly, he was going to have a campfire, and we were going to cook. It didn't matter. It was raining to beat the band, and he's out there with this stick in this waterlogged campfire, jabbing and poking, and he made that fire burn. And that night, after the rain kind of subdued and the rest of us crawl out from under our tarp, we get out there and we had hobo meals prepared by Catherine. That's a memory I'll never forget, Catherine. I had gas for a week. We climbed nearly to the summit of Mount Sherman with that little guy. I mean, it was fun. And as we got back, you know, after a few days of camping with kids, you know, you realize they kind of smell. But Derrick's name turned to Dirt. That was his new nickname that we had around the camp. So we fly fished on the Cache la Poudre River, and all Derrik wanted to do was catch a fish and eat it. So we did. A kid, a young man with grit, infectious enthusiasm, a smile on his face, and mischief in his step. He had a grin in his eyes that not a lot of people have. And I was fortunate I had the opportunity to hunt with Derrik. And I always enjoyed it whenever he loved to go with me, and I never minded. He always kept up, and I remember one particular hunt. We were post-holing through the snow, and if anybody knows what post-holing is, you know, the snow gets a crust on it after a few freeze and thaws. And we spotted this herd of elk, and we're going, a little small herd of elk, and we're going across this meadow through this ravine. And I looked back, and Derrik was having just a little bit of a hard time keeping up, although he wouldn't say so. So I shortened my stride so he could step in my post holes. And I'm sure he would do the same for me after he grew a little bit taller than me now. And I love to ski, and I got to ski with Derrik a few times. Derrik didn't love to ski. Derrik loved to fly down the hill on that board. And as I was ski behind him, I just prayed that he stayed between the trees, and God willing, everyone else stayed out of his way. Roger and Catherine, I swear, deprived that kid of a good, healthy diet. They always came up with this health food. Derrik had a few days he stayed with Roberta and I, and as we were one day down in our kitchen, Derrik came down all sleepy-eyed, sleep in his eyes yet, and walked down into our kitchen. He goes, in the true Derrik fashion, "Got any flakes?" I never tell you this, but we both ate 3 bowls of sugar-frosted flakes that morning. An intense competitor, Derrik just wanted to play a sport. At any time, anywhere, any sport, didn't matter. In my backyard, I remember pitching curveballs to Derrik. When he was just a little squirt, he would love to try to catch that ball. If he missed it, he would catch the next one. He didn't miss it more than once, but he loved that. Roberta and I had the great fortune of having the Flahive family stay with us for a few short weeks. Seemed like a few long years as they had their house remodeled with their 2 labs. And I still have this thumping in the back of my head that I know is going to require therapy one of these days. It was from this thing that Derrik called wall ball. Derrik would stand out beside our house against a brick wall with his lacrosse stick and ball. Ka-thump, ka-thump, thump. Spin his stick, and I thought, oh, a break. Ka-thump, ka-thump. Hours, it was endless. You get the picture anyway. Shannon and Megan, I'm sure that he drove you crazy, but Derrik, that's well played. That's what little brothers do when they're good ones. He was a good one. Just shy of 21 years, Derrik rocked, he rolled, he drummed, he strummed, he passed, he caught, he scored, he climbed, he knocked an arrow, and he pulled a trigger. It's something for all of us to aspire to. Always game, no fear, compete with intensity, be kind to those in need, embrace others, and life is a sport that's meant to be played. Now, I don't know what causes all of us to be here today or how we can explain what happened, except that it must be part of a grander plan. But we all have a job to do today, and that's to remember Derrik in the Derrik way and how he touched your life. And as we, later on today, I'm not kidding when I say you need to introduce yourself to someone else. When Derrik came to a room, he didn't care who you were or what you were or where you were from. You knew him when he left. So we're going to smile and celebrate Derrik. And now this is time for just a little bit of audience participation. It'll be no longer than 30 seconds. You weren't going to have to stand. You're not going to cry, and I'm not going to make you sing. But what we're going to do is I'm going to say something, and you're going to repeat it back to me, and you're going to insert your name where it's appropriate, okay? Hi, my name is... And I'm a Derrikaholic. Thanks.
Some good friends arriving fashionably late. Hey, Pops.